Hello, hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. I can't believe it's still morning. I got up at 3:30 a.m. Okay, we are going to get right into it. For those of you that might be new, I'm going to skip a long, lengthy introduction and get right into meat and potatoes. So if you want to find out more about who I am, check out loriballen.com. I have Sabrina with me, my beautiful assistant and daughter. And this is not the teenager, this is the adult daughter. She'll be typing in links to things that I talk about. She's here to answer your questions so that I can keep moving along. And there will be a playback, and Sabrina will send that out after the fact. If you do have questions, type them in here. I will see what I can do. Sometimes I can see the question bar, sometimes I can't because I get moving so fast. And Sabrina will flag me if there's a question that is important that we get to. Okay. All right. How many of you guys would like to get more listing leads, seller leads? I personally think that generating buyer leads is super easy. I can do that in my sleep pretty much with my eyes closed. And generating seller leads is not necessarily harder. Generating seller leads that close is because of the way that they come in. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to get more seller leads using our home value estimation tool. Okay, now guys, whether you like it or not, and I forgot to open my little tool here. Hold on, let me get this open. Whether you like it or not, home value estimates, home value keywords are being typed into the search engines like crazy. And I'm going to show you this right now. I'm going to view full report. Okay. So I'm in my fancy schmancy tool here. This is called SEMrush. Sabrina will send you out a link. It's not cheap. It's one of my more expensive tools, actually. I didn't create it. It's a tool that I use. It's the most comprehensive tool that I use for keyword tracking, SEO, search engine optimization, research, SEO audits, all of that good stuff. Okay, so guys, up here in the keyword bar, I typed in the word home value. Okay, watch this. Over here, we have the keyword term and we have the search volume. This is a monthly search volume. Monthly. Every month there are 22,200 searches for Zillow home value or Zillow home values. Everybody who searches understands that Zillow is the one that provides home values. Doesn't that creep you out? Like, we as real estate agents understand why that's bad news, but what Zillow has done correctly is they have marketed themselves as the home value experts, and we haven't as the real estate industry. They did, and because of that, people now understand that they can simply hop online, do a search, and they're going to find an instant home value calculator. It's going to give them an estimate. Okay, look at the number 3 keyword on here, home value estimator. Guess what they're not typing? Find me a real estate agent to sell my house. Okay, they're looking to go online and find out how much their home might be worth long before they ever connect with a real estate agent. So this is important, this validation that this is a growing tool, that it's growing terminology, not declining. People want to see home value estimates more and more and more. What's the value of my home? But they understand home value estimator, 18,100 searches a month. How would you like to be on the receiving end of some of those people searching to find out how much their home is worth? All right. Anybody else having problems with? I have 2 people having problems with sound. No? Okay. Sabrina, wave at me. Let me know if there's an issue there. Okay. All right. So there's several ways to do this. First thing to do is to have a website that functions at a high level. Okay, you need to have a website that is mobile responsive. It works well on mobile, and it provides a good quality experience. It loads quickly. It has simple navigation. Okay, these are all of the things that are important about your website. On your website, you need to have an instant home value calculator. Okay. Now, if you just have a form that says find out what your home is worth, and they can tell it's just a contact us form, they don't fill it out anymore hardly at all. They need to believe that they're going to get a report. Now, this tool that I use, and guys, I know that you're going to get into typing in a bunch of tools. How about this tool? How about this tool? I don't have preferences on other tools because I haven't tested them. This one works for me, and so this is the one I use. I use the tools and the landing pages provided by Listings to Leads. And Listings to Leads, and I'm going to show you a couple reasons why in a minute too, but Listings to Leads provides just sold landing pages, just listed, landing pages that work with Facebook lead ads, home value calculators, all that good stuff. Also, with Listings to Leads, all of my listings automatically upload into the dashboard, and I can from right there have automatic virtual tours feed to YouTube. I can create active rating blog posts and WordPress blog posts and do all kinds of things right there from the dashboard. So there's a lot of reasons why I use that. And in fact, Listings to Leads home value tool came later. I was using the other tools first, and then I started using this one. And then I started figuring out best practices on how to use it because it's an incredible tool. Okay. Now, so you're going to want to have one of these tools on your website. Now, most people don't realize that all you have to do is go over to, if you're using Listings to Leads, there's an embed code. It's a little iframe. So it's a little piece of code that you just put on your website, and this page shows up automatically. So this landing page, we actually just embedded that iframe right on our website so that this functions. Okay, so that's step one. Okay, now let me show you how we drive people to our home valuation tool. And I'm going to show you some stats first. Let me open that little picture again for you. Okay, so I've got a little sample here for you. This is a sample of 300, almost 300 home valuation requests. Okay, now here's what I want to point out first. Stay with me rather than reading the whole graph so you can see what I'm putting out. 48% gave us the correct address. 48% gave us the correct address. We were able to verify those addresses. So what we know is if I get 1,000 leads, 500 of them should have valid addresses. So those are good numbers for me to create calculations of what my potential closing percentage is and how much money I want to put into advertising or whatnot. And here's my potential return, right? So these are kind of the math figures that help us scale and decide how we're going to go about these next year. 7% were already listed. That's actually a pretty low number, and I'm actually kind of surprised at that. I was looking at the graph this morning. So only 7% were already listed, and I'm going to show you where I get that data in a minute too. 32.66% we were able to confirm that they actually were the owners of the home. It doesn't mean that the rest weren't. But a lot of times we see the residents in the home and we may not have the public data at that moment that we're researching, but we know for sure that 32.66% definitely owned the home. 4% out of the gate gave us bad data. Now, the average years owned, I love this, 8.21. So out of all of our valid leads that come in that give us good info, we measure how long they've owned the home. And it's 8.21 years. Now, why this is valuable to you is if you're running a Facebook ad, when you go down to the demographics, you can actually select residential behavior and choose people that have lived in their home for 6 years or more. So if this data is proving to be true in your area, remember real estate's local, so it's 8.21 years in Vegas. That may be a little bit different where you are, but because I have my own data, I know that I'm going to select six years plus, and I'm going to have a better chance of attracting real sellers rather than you know, the looky-loos or whatever. The estimated home value is $344,000. Now that's interesting too, because our median price range in Vegas just hit what was it, 260? I think it was 260, and the average estimated loan is 242. So 4 years ago, it was upside down. nobody had any equity. This was all short sale data. We had to go for short sales. And now we're seeing that they have data again. Now, this report, because I see a lot of the questions coming in, this report is being, it was created through a lot of steps. We're working on automating this in our new Ballen real estate websites. But what we do is we track where the lead came from, and then I'm going to show you how we pull the data from listings to leads to put in some of this information, and from Realty Track, and then we put it into Infusionsoft, which is our CRM, and then Infusionsoft feeds to Click Data, and Click Data gives us our reports. So there's a few steps in there on how I'm getting all this data, by the way. So this was not an easy thing to gather by any means, but data is important to me because it allows me to scale my business and to predict, right? Okay, so if we go over here to listings to leads, let me close out of this spot here. Okay, I've got a lead dashboard here, and these are leads that have come in on our home valuation pages. Now, there's some lead information showing in here, so I appreciate you guys not all contacting these people trying to list their house, especially if you're here in Vegas. That would be very inappropriate. So, but I do need to get to these to show you the sample of the IP address. All right, so I take a look at the first lead that came in, and I'm going to click View Details. Now, here's where I'm going to go get the data. See this button here that says IP address? Okay. This is a unique IP address to where that person's internet service provider is feeding to their device, cell phone or mobile device. Generally, these are unique unless they're in a public place with shared IP, but in most cases, this is going to be unique. So I'm able to, and you don't get this from everybody. This is one of the reasons why I love listings to leads, is because they give us that IP address. That's a big, big deal. So I'm going to take this IP address. Then I'm going to go over to a tool called Clicky. Now, Clicky is not expensive. What is Clicky, like 15 bucks a month or something? 10 bucks a month? So Clicky's not expensive. All you have to do is set up your website on here. It gives you a little piece of code, just like a Google Analytics code. You put the code on your website where it'll show up on every page, and you get data that you would not believe. It is incredible. And if you're learning with me at theballenmethod.com, which is my training system on how to do SEO and how to generate leads, you got to have Clicky. We're always talking about it because this is how we get all of this, find out what's working, right? So I'm going to go over here to visitors, and I'm going to go to add a filter, IP address, and I'm going to paste in that IP address. And it has to be pasted in correctly. All right. Now, what I want you to see here is this was a lead that came in last night on our home valuation tool. What Clicky shows me is where they came from and what brought them in. So this particular lead came from Google Organic. That means the person was Googling and they clicked on one of my earned in search engine ranked pages, not paid, or there'd be a little dollar sign right here, which I'll show you in a moment when we do another lead. Shows me here where they came in. So this person was Googling about closing costs when selling a home in Las Vegas, and they found this page right here that I wrote. And this is one of the things that I teach in the Ballen Method. And this morning, one of our Ballen Method implementers from Maryland told me that they're getting a bunch of leads as well from their blog post they did on this. And I looked them up, and it's actually so good they even have the 0 position featured rich snippet, which if some of those of you that have been learning with me know what that is, but it's the most coveted top earned in position on a Google page now. And they did that through a blog post like mine. Not taking word for word, they wrote their own based on these concepts. So closing costs when you sell a home in Las Vegas. All I did is sit down and create how much are commissions, and of course that's generalized, nothing is ever standard. How much are appraisal, how much is home staging, what are the other closing costs, escrow, title insurance, transfer tax, all of that good stuff, okay? Any of you guys that are real estate agents could sit down and write a blog post on closing costs, even if you have to bring in the title company or whatever. Yay, Lisa. Lisa just posted that she's also position #1 in her market for this topic. Yeah, this is my favorite for bringing in seller leads that actually list. This is my favorite because it's the way they come into the funnel when they're Googling how much does it cost to sell a home, they are interested in selling a home. These ones aren't as likely. When you're running a Facebook ad that says, find out how much your home is worth, everybody fills that out. Even if they have no interest in ever selling their house, they might be the person that's renting the place. They might be an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend wanting to know about a house. You get such a mess of people that have no interest in selling their house whatsoever. But when they're Googling how much does it cost when selling a house, they are really interested in selling a house. So you sit down and you write a blog post about closing costs when they're selling a house. Okay, so that's your big homework for today right there. All right, so this person came in from Google and they land on that blog. Let's do another one. Okay, I did 3 this morning randomly, so we're going to do those same 3. Oh, hold on, I need his IP address. Oh, shoot, I should have just written it down. All right, let's just go to the next one. I forgot, that one came in on an email. Okay, so let's take this one. We're going to go to Clicky. We're going to go to the visitor log, add a filter, IP address, type in the IP address. Okay, ready for this? Now, this one was pay-per-click. See this? Google.com. And there's the little money sign. So now I know that this is a pay-per-click lead. And this one came in someplace different. I'll show you this one. This is my second favorite page to bring in seller leads. And this page is the Las Vegas Real Estate Market Report. And it's all about the housing market, what's happening, home values, that type of thing. Now here, my call to action, what's your house worth? They click on that button, it goes to the home valuation page, and they fill this out. The difference in how I'm generating leads is that I'm not running an ad saying, find out how much your home is worth. I'm promoting blog posts, find out what's happening with the real estate market. How much are closing costs when you sell a house? So it's a different type of funnel that they're coming in. So this is my website. I'm looking at your questions coming in. This is my website, and on my website I have a blog. Okay, so on this, here's my website. This is just for those of you that might need a website. This is Ballen Real Estate Agent Websites. We call them our brew. This is my company, ballenbrands.com. We make websites. So I'm a real estate agent. I have a big real estate business, and then I also have a marketing company. So we build these very SEO friendly, IDX powered websites, and then we teach you how to operate them. Okay, so in this particular case, the person clicked on an ad I was running on the search engines for real estate market report. Once they got there, they clicked on the call to action, how much is your home worth, and they clicked through and filled that out. Okay, the other one I was going to show you today, that I don't have his IP address. It was actually Bing, the search engine Bing, and it was organically earned in. Okay, so I'm seeing some of your questions. Let me get to them here. Are all these tools included in your brew packages? No, I wish. These are some IDX, your IDX, like your home search, this here, your homes for sale that actually puts a little grid on the houses. We set that up for you, but you do pay an IDX license. Clicky, we set it up for you so that it's all functioning and working for you, but you do pay your own $10 a month. You pay for hosting. You own your website when you hire through us. Okay, so you own your website, but you do pay for your tools. Okay. Somebody says, can you recommend a CRM since we cannot afford Infusionsoft? Before you decide you can't afford Infusionsoft, talk to Jeff on my team. We are certified Infusionsoft partners, and if you really don't, I mean, it is a monthly cost. If you don't have the monthly budget for it, it's probably not going to be right for you right now. But I would say Lion Desk is another good option that a lot of people are going with. And so a lot of our clients that have not been able to afford to go to Infusionsoft yet are using Lion Desk. It's not going to have the tracking capabilities and stuff like what we have, but it could potentially be an option. That's a good question. Listings leads, I'm not seeing the IP address. You're going to have to contact Scott Pierce. Oh, wait, Sabrina's answering me.
It's in the email again.
Oh, check the email on the lead. That's right. So did you see how a couple of mine had the IP address, but the one for Frank did not? If you pull up that person's email, the lead email that you got that says, hey, somebody filled out a home valuation request, the IP address is in the email. So if it's not in the dashboard, find the lead alert email. Okay. I know a lot of you guys are mentioning CRMs. I'm not going to mention anything else right now that isn't something that I've got a lot of feedback on. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you was this here. Listings to Leads has something called a partial to full, what do they call it? Partial to full something. I can't remember. Partial to full lead information. And here's what happens. A lot of times the seller goes in and they fill out, or the homeowner goes in and they fill out their address and they don't put the other stuff. Well, Listings Leads is partnered with Cole Realty Source, and they pull in information about the resident of the home. Okay, so you're able to find out who the person is and the estimated age of the home, estimated value of the home. So you can get a bunch of stuff about the address. Now, Jeff was telling me on my team that it appears that it's the resident, not the homeowner. I didn't confirm that with Scott, but that is what Jeff is saying. Now, I also use Realty Track. So let me show you. I'm going to take this address right here. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go over to Realty Track. And I actually have a paid account with Realty Track. I can't remember how much that one is either. I pay by the year. And for most of you, I wouldn't say you need this. I do it because I need the data so I can teach you guys. So it's worth me paying for a couple extra tools just to make sure I have every piece of data that I need. Okay, it may not be to benefit the real estate team as much as it does to benefit the training. And so I'm going to punch in this address. And the first thing I'm going to find out is this property listed? Okay. Now, this is what's cool about Realty Track. It says right here that it's off the market. So you asked me earlier where I get my data. You could do the same thing going to your MLS. Just log on to your MLS and look at the properties for sale. You could go to Google and type in the property address and see if it's for sale. Okay. Now, if I click on View Details, what I'm able to see here is at a quick glance when it last sold. Then down here, I can take it a quick glance of what they believe the estimated value is. And of course, it's just like Zillow and anything else. They're using automated calculators, so it's only a estimation. This is never anything we bank on. It's just a quick glance estimation. Then I can see who the owners are. So this guy is the verified owner, and that is the information Listings Leads gave us as well. So he probably lives there, okay? Now, this is what's important, you guys. He bought the house in 2016. Do you believe that's a real lead? Yeah, I believe this is somebody wanting to see if they got a good deal. Okay, so this is important to do the homework. Your conversion rates are going to be less than 5% no matter what on web leads. I have a hard time seeing that anybody else has higher conversion rates on any kind of cold web leads that are coming in. So you have to do your math when you're kind of looking at this and say, okay, if I converted at 5% and I got 100 leads, which, you know, you can get in days, a week, a month, depending on on how you're doing on the search engines, how you're doing on paid ads. And 5 of those were to close, it's worth it all day long, you know, unless you're paying a fortune, unless you're paying hundreds of dollars for your lead or thousands of dollars for your leads, it doesn't add up. And so, okay, a lot of people on here are saying that if you're a member of NAR, the National Association of Realtors, you have access to RPR, which is free and provides home valuation estimates and CMAs. So just an FYI there on that information, okay? And so there's lots of ways for you to go get your data. And where Doug says sold in 2007. Was I looking at the wrong thing? Purchase date 2016. So I'm not sure what you're looking at there, Doug. Okay, so here, let's punch these takeaways real quick for you. So I think it's really important that, because we get a little scattered as everybody starts bouncing around, that you understand what it is that you need to do to achieve this, okay? The first thing is creating a funnel of actual potential seller leads, not just people who own houses that want to find out what their home is worth. And the way I do that is through blogs. Now, if you are a person who does video, let me tell you, you could kill it with video only. Video on YouTube and video on your Facebook Live and your Instagram and your Snapchat if you're on there, and LinkedIn and all those channels. If you're doing, you could do a big business off of creating a video and you start off the video by saying, so you want to sell a house, what's it going to cost you when selling your house in Las Vegas? And you have a whiteboard behind you, or you have a screen behind you, or you have note cards and you talk, whatever it is that you need to do, making these videos, because a lot of times the video will rank higher on the search engine than anybody's blog post too. And if you're clever at that, you can actually have the video transcribed to written word and create a blog post around it. There's a company called rev.com, R-E-V, that for $1 a minute will transcribe your 5-minute video for $5. We'll transcribe it into written word for you, and you've got a killer blog that Google loves. Okay, so I have to laugh when reading some of the comments. So after you so you get a home valuation tool. Now, just to let you guys know something, the home valuation tool, please don't fill mine out. I'm going to get a bunch of leads and it's going to mess up our numbers. Do me a favor, go to the link Sabrina is putting in the chat bar, go straight to listings to leads and do a trial. You get a free trial. When you use my link, it's an extended free trial, and you can try out the home valuation tool all you like. Now, here's the way I do mine. Home valuation tool comes in, the lead comes in through Infusionsoft, and you can do it through whatever CRM you have. I have an autoresponder that says, the title says, hey, your estimate may not be right. So they just got the home estimate, and then a minute later they get an email that says, hey, it may not be right. And the email, I'm on video actually explaining to them that they requested an online valuation, and I gave them an online valuation the exact same way Zillow would. You know, it's just going by general public information. However, what we all know is that real estate is local, and that in some neighborhoods, homes across the street from each other can be completely different. And in some areas, you know, homes next to each other can be completely different. And so it would be best if you allowed one of our expert agents to come out and actually see your home and do a valuation with you. Okay. So, yes, and the new listings to leads home valuations, I didn't have time to set that up for you today, but they just updated their landing pages, and they also now have Facebook login, and that's very popular. Everybody's wanting to log in now through Facebook or Google, so that's a new option. So check those out when you do the free trial. Check out all the landing pages that just sold. Landing pages are absolutely huge on there, okay? And back to the follow-up, after they get my home valuation email, the first one, they're also getting automated text from us that says, are you interested in selling your house? So we're trying to bring up the interested sellers. And then there's a drip that goes after that of text messages and emails that are all about increasing your home value and what colors to paint your house that'll make it sell better, and what kind of things you can do over the next year to prepare your home for sale. Because a lot of these people that are filling out these home valuation requests, they're 18 months to 2 years out of selling, just like these buyer leads that come in. So they have to be cultivated, okay? There's gonna be a long process there. All right, guys, I always start on time and end on time, and it's at 11:30. So please, if you want to learn more about SEO and how to get more leads online, head on over to theballenmethod.com. If you need a real estate website or you'd like us to write your blogs for you or help you with your pay-per-click management, you can find us at ballenbrands.com. And of course, for all of your real estate referrals, Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, Lori Ballen team. We would love your referrals. We'll treat them like family. I've got a great team up here in Summerlin, Las Vegas, and we'd love to help you out. And that's it for me for today. We will get this playback sent out to you. Sabrina will get it set up and sent out to everybody. And I appreciate you being here. And we do these all the time. So follow us, stay with us, and we'll keep them coming. Thank you so much.